Veterans, do you struggle to fall asleep, stay asleep, wake up exhausted no matter how long you sleep? What if I told you that your sleep problems could be worth tens of thousands of dollars a year in VA disability benefits? Would you believe me or not? Today, I'm breaking down 6 sleep disturbances that could significantly increase your VA disability rating, how they're connected to service connected conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and mental health, and what the VA looks for when deciding your VA disability claim. If you're tired of being tired and tired of being underrated by the VA, this live stream, this episode is for you. Okay. Sleep is just not rest, it is a medical issue. The VA recognizes that chronic sleep disturbances cause serious occupational and functional impairment. Many veterans do not realize this, but sleep disorders are often secondary conditions, meaning they can be linked to existing service connected disabilities like PTSD, anxiety, depression, tinnitus, or that's right, even chronic pain. Sleep disturbances are some of the most common health issues among veterans, and they can have a serious impact on your mental and physical well being. Maybe that's you listening. Whether you're dealing with sleep apnea, whether you're dealing with insomnia, hypersomnia, or another disorder, the VA recognizes that poor sleep can make it a lot harder to work, to focus, and maintain a healthy daily routine. Okay. In this live stream, we will cover how the VA rates sleep disturbances. Okay. I'm going to break down 6 VA rateable sleep conditions and how to prove service connection for them. And also, as always, in case you don't know, how to file your VA claim. Okay. A VA rating for sleep disturbances depends on the severity of your symptoms, how they affect your daily functioning, and whether you require a breathing support device. Sleep issues may be rated as primary conditions like sleep apnea or secondary to another service connected disability like PTSD or depression. Okay. You can file a claim using VA Form 21526 easy online, by mail, fax, or in person at a VA regional office. Okay. So, sleep disturbances in veterans. Okay. A 2023 systematic review found that 69% of military personnel and veterans experience poor sleep quality. Maybe that's you, with higher rates in veterans, 82.9%, compared to active duty members, 57.8%. Here's the truth: poor sleep is particularly common among those with PTSD, depression, or older age, and can be worsened by chronic pain, traumatic brain injury, or stressful deployments, impacting what? Your daily functioning, your mood, and your overall health. Okay. What is the sleep disturbances VA rating? Here's what happens: the VA evaluates and rates sleep disturbances based on how they impact you socially and occupationally. The severity, the frequency, and underlying cause of the sleep disorder. What does it do? It all factors into the sleep disturbance VA disability rating. Ratings can vary depending on whether the sleep disturbance is considered a primary condition or secondary to another service connected disability, with documentation from medical providers, which are a very key and pivotal role in securing an accurate VA rating. Okay. So, the 6 types of sleep disturbances I'm going to get into right now. Number one is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is one of the most common sleep disturbances among veterans. And guess what? It can have serious health consequences if left untreated. There are 3 main types of sleep apnea, and those are obstructive sleep apnea, which is the most common type. It's caused by a physical blockage of the airway, and it can be linked to PTSD, to side effects from medications, weight gain, respiratory issues, rhinitis, sinusitis, maybe asthma, stuff blocking up your airway, causing you in your respiratory system to stop breathing at night and having apneas. So, obstructive sleep apnea is the first type of sleep apnea. The second type of sleep apnea is what we call central sleep apnea, CSA, which is caused by the brain not sending the right signals to the muscles that control breathing. Number three is complex sleep apnea. We call this COMP SA, which is a mix of obstructive sleep apnea and central sleep apnea, often discovered during treatment of obstructive sleep apnea. Okay. The VA right now, right? You keep hearing the rumor mill about potential changes. They are not in effect. So, right now, the VA rates sleep apnea at 0, 30, 50, or 100% under diagnostic code 6847, depending on the severity of the condition and whether a CPAP machine is needed or not. Very important to understand that. Number two, okay? Number two is insomnia. Okay. But I'm going to tell you a key factor of insomnia. The VA rates insomnia as a mental health rating. Particularly, a lot of times it comes under diagnostic code 9440, which is an adjustment disorder, or you'll see a mixed anxiety. The VA doesn't really rate it as a sleep issue. They rate it more importantly under the mental health um, condition, or physical condition rather than a standalone disorder. So, insomnia refers to chronic difficulty falling or staying asleep. It's often linked to stress, pain, or mental health conditions like PTSD or anxiety. And then again, the VA treats insomnia as a symptom of another mental or physical condition rather than a standalone disorder. So, let me give you an example. If insomnia is a symptom of a mental health condition like PTSD or depression, guess what? It will be rated under the general rating formula for mental disorders. Okay. Again, I just talked about diagnostic code 9440, which is adjustment disorder. Okay. So it will be rated under the general rating formula for mental disorders with potential ratings of 0, 10, 30, 50, 70, or 100 veterans. Okay. So again, important to know this if you're going for insomnia, that it's particularly 99.9% of the time treated as a mental health standalone condition. And remember, guys, gals, my friends, you're only allowed one mental health condition. So VA treats insomnia as a symptom of another mental or physical condition rather than a standalone disorder. Okay. Number three, narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is a chronic sleep disorder that causes sudden, uncontrollable episodes of daytime sleepiness, and in some cases, brief losses of muscle control. Common causes of narcolepsy include low hypocretin levels, genetic factors, autoimmune reactions, infections like the H1N1 virus or vaccine, environmental triggers such as stress or disrupted sleep patterns can cause narcolepsy. The VA rates narcolepsy under diagnostic code 8108 with potential ratings of 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, or 100%, depending on what? The frequency and severity of your symptoms. Okay. You need to report this if anything is going on. This needs to get into your treatment records, not later, but like yesterday, today. Act with urgency if any of this applies to you. Any of these three things that I've talked about: sleep apnea, insomnia, narcolepsy, get treated, get it documented, get it in your medical evidence. Okay. Number four is what we call hypersomnia. Hypersomnia or hypersomnolence is a condition marked by excessive sleepiness during the day even after a full night's rest. You may struggle to stay awake at work, during conversations, or while driving, which can be a significant safety issue and impact your quality of life. A hypersomnia VA rating is based on the underlying condition and is assigned by analogy, reflecting the level of what? Occupational and social impairment. So, in some cases, it may also be linked to other disorders like depression or obstructive sleep apnea, allowing you to claim hypersomnia as a VA service connected disability or as a secondary condition. Number five is sleep paralysis. Okay. Sleep paralysis occurs when a person temporarily can't move or speak while falling asleep or waking up, sometimes with hallucinations or a sense of pressure, maybe on your chest. You may qualify for a sleep paralysis VA rating if you have severe or frequent episodes that do what? Disrupt your daily life. Like other sleep disturbances, sleep paralysis is generally considered a symptom of another condition. So, for example, it may occur as part of service connected PTSD or anxiety or depression or a neurological disorder, which can make it rateable under the VA rating system. Okay. Number six, something a lot of people sleep on is chronic fatigue syndrome. You're not getting the proper rest. It's carrying over to the day. You feel like a zombie. You feel tired. You're constantly fatigued. To get that service connected, you have to rule out underlying conditions, right? So, blood work is very important. Um, if you don't have a sleep study done to determine if you have sleep apnea or not, that's important to get done because the VA could come back and say, hey, you know what? Were never tested for sleep apnea. So you could be tired because you're having apneas and you're having sleep apnea, and we don't know yet. So therefore, deny. And if you're going to do it, chronic fatigue a lot of people don't know about it. They don't go while in service and say, I've got chronic fatigue syndrome. So it's mainly a secondary condition. Okay. A secondary condition. And that rating can go potentially all the way to 100%. I know someone that's gotten 100% off chronic fatigue. So chronic fatigue syndrome is number six, and it's typically a 40 or 60% rating, with the majority of the chronic fatigue rating being a 60% VA disability rating. And again, it's normally secondary. And guys and gals, how do we secondary something? Nexus letter, DBQ, diagnosis. Okay. You need that. How do you prove service connection on any of these six conditions that I just talked about? Okay. Sleep apnea, insomnia, narcolepsy, hypersomnia, sleep paralysis, and or chronic fatigue syndrome. Okay. How do you prove service connection? There are two main paths to proving your service connection for a sleep disturbance: direct and secondary. Direct service connection links your condition directly to your military service, while secondary connection shows that your condition was caused or worsened by another service connected disability. Remember, the proof is on you. Come with all the evidence and the ammo to the firefight. Okay. If you need a next letter, if you need anything like that, reach out to be put in the best position. Don't get screwed over here Googling, thinking you know it all, and trying to just get some doctor or your primary care doctor that don't know what the heck they're writing to whip it up for you. It's not going to work. Okay. Get the right help. Make sure you got the best path. Okay. Make sure you got the proper evidence. Not all nexus letters, not all disability benefits questionnaires, not all doctors know what they're doing, and not all letters are created equal. Okay. Very important. Direct service connection, you need what I call the big three. To prove it, you need a current medical diagnosis, in service event, injury, aggravation, or illness, and you need a medical nexus link between your current diagnosis and the in service event, injury, aggravation, or illness. Secondary, to prove secondary service connection, you'll need a current medical diagnosis of your secondary condition up to date, a medical nexus linking it, showing the condition was caused or aggravated by a primary service connected disability. Okay. A well supported nexus letter from a qualified medical provider is often so important and a significant piece of evidence for secondary service connections. Okay. Sleep disturbances, very important here, aren't typically considered a standalone presumptive condition by the VA. However, chronic fatigue is a presumptive condition. Okay. It is, I'm going to say that again, a presumptive condition. Sleep apnea is not. Okay. Insomnia is not. Sleep paralysis is not, but chronic fatigue is. However, okay, Sleep disturbances may not be considered a standalone rating. However, they may be recognized as part of a medically unexplained chronic multi symptom illness or a symptom of an undiagnosed illness for Gulf War and post 9/11 veterans. If you served in areas such as Southwest Asia, Afghanistan, Israel, Egypt, Turkey, Syria, or Jordan during the Gulf War or after 9/11 and have sleep problems that last 6 months or longer, the VA may treat them as part of a what? Presumptive illness. In other words, your sleep issues could be connected to a broader condition, veterans, like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, or other unexplained illnesses that the VA automatically assumes is service connected. So, how do you file? Again, I'm going to reiterate using VA form 21526EZ. If you got denied and you're bringing new and relevant evidence, the 0995 supplemental claim form. If the VA screwed up and there's a duty to assist error, do a 0996 form, do a higher level review. You could do it online, by mail, via fax, in person at a VA regional office. Okay. Sleep disturbances can seriously affect your quality of life. Maybe that's you listening right now. And they're more common among veterans, me and you, than you may think. Whether your condition developed during service or as a result of another disability, the VA provides compensation if you are eligible, but be in the best position to be eligible if this is you. If you're struggling with sleep issues due to your service, don't wait. Get the evidence that you need. Start building your claim. Proper documentation, proper evidence can make a major difference and build a bulletproof sleep apnea claim, veterans. Very, very important that you understand that. Okay. So, bottom line, here's what you need to win these claims: current diagnosis, medical records or sleep studies, nexus letter, most of the time linking sleep condition to service or a service connected disability, lay statements describing daily functioning impact, occupationally, socially, relationally. Spouse or buddy statements are a huge bonus as long as they make sense. Make sure they're not over exaggerated. Okay. Most veterans are underrated because they never connect the dots and you don't know where to begin. If you don't know how to climb the mountain yourself, don't do it. Get the help that you need. Reach out. We are here for you. Sleep problems are not just part of life. They are medical conditions that the VA compensates if you file correctly, if you're educated correctly, if you bring all the ammo to the firefight. Okay. So if this episode opened your eyes, do three things: subscribe, share this with another veteran, start documenting your sleep issues today. Let the VA know what's up. You got to talk about what you got going on. I know we were not trained to do that, but brothers and sisters, as veterans, we got to make this happen because the VA won't connect the dots for you. But once you do, then guess what? The game can change. Okay. So I hope that this helped you guys out. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Happy 2026, man. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.